We're live.
All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. We'd like to apologize for the delay in coming on. Senator Dillon is all the way out there in Grand Bassa County, and they are having some technical difficulties. The internet shut down. I don't know for whatsoever reason. So we've been trying to get him on. Unfortunately, we can't. We will start the show and go straight into business since we're late. And let me, before we begin, let me welcome Martin Colley. Martin Colley is an SI Liberian activist. He's been very vocal on issues of concerning human rights, injustices, and anti-democratic tenets. So we have also got with us here today Amos Twere. Amos Twere is the newly elected Secretary General of the Unity Party. Amos will also be a guest panelist here. Welcome, gentlemen. We hope to have Senator join us, and even Ente Miata will join us shortly too. So let me say welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Veteran Stephen. It is good to be here. Let me extend my earnest appreciation to the class reloaded, especially Senator Ibrahim Darius Dillon, who is the host. I want to appreciate you as the chief panelist on this widely monitored platform. I also want to appreciate all other panelists. Permit me to extend my greetings to my dear brother who is on, Amos Twere. Congratulations to him and the chairman of the Opposition Unity Party. I also want to commend his predecessors who laid the ground upon which they now stand. To also conclude on this note, I want to say hats off to our people back home. You know, it is really, really sad. You know what I'm talking about. People are going through a lot, you know. So permit me to extend my greetings to all Liberians who are monitoring right now. I would like to encourage them to remain strong and hopeful, because there will be a new Liberia, and that new Liberia is coming soon. So this is my message to them as we begin this podcast. Thanks for the great work. We appreciate very, very well. Thank you for the opportunity to appear.
You're welcome. Amos, are you there? I think Amos is having some technical difficulties. So on tonight's edition, we will be looking at a number of issues, Martin. First, we'll begin with a review of the local data. We will give our listeners an overview of the local newspaper in Liberia. Then we'll discuss what's trending. We'll talk about trending national issues. And then the first segment of the program, we'll look at Bloody July 26, the statement by WIA and the lies, the truth, and the condition of Comrade Christopher Sisulu on what, and then general democracy and governing issue. On segment 2, we'll look at the police report, the reported arrest of members of the COP CDC, whether that is a smokescreen or a real arrest. And then on the third segment, we will look at the statement from our international partners regarding the bloody July 26th. So let me also say thank to all of our radio stations carrying us live: Bushrock Radio 98.1, in Monserrado Shatta FM 102.5, Radio Dupa all the way there in Grand Bassa 89.1, Voice of Lofa FM 99.3, Radio Joy Africa FM 97.5 all the way there in Magibi, Voice of Compa 106.5 all the way there in Ganta, and Puto Radio all the way in Sino County. So Martin, what's trending? So let me, before I go to what's trending, Martin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Your camera is a little up. You want to bring it down a little bit so we can see you better. So let me browse through the local dailies, and then we can move to what's trending. So in the newspaper has a headline that says CDC COP officials arrested as LMP hunts order. It says U.S. EU order demand probe condemns July 26th violence. The Inquirer newspaper says act responsibly. International community speaks on political violence. The Independent Probe newspaper says CDC COP political scapegoats. Warning to CDC exonerates. The Independent newspaper say only Bouaka can defeat Weah. Only Bouaka can defeat Weah. That's the coming from the UP new chairman, as he asserts that only Bouaka can defeat Weah. Heritage newspaper say for distancing CDC from CDC COP, we are under attack. We are has come on attack. On the front page, it says international community on government's back. And then the Hot Pepper newspaper say EU, UN, UK, US jointly condemn July 26 violence. And then the New Republic newspaper say on your own. And then on the lead story says arm yourself in self-defense. That is Councillor Jerome Verdier telling Liberians. And then the Women Voices, it says women stage protest in Maryland County. And so, Martin, those are the headlines for, as what trending around. From your end, what is trending? Okay, welcome, Amos. Amos, welcome. Can you yell, Amos? Amos, you live. Can you yell us? Amos? Amos, can you yell us? Sorry, we're not getting Amos. Amos, if you're there, can you yell us? Amos?
I think Amos has some technical problems. Yeah.
Okay, we have Ente Miata also with us. Let me say welcome, Ente Miata. Welcome, Ente Miata.
Thank you.
Welcome. So we're glad to have you. It's glad that we are on air finally after some brief technical difficulties. We'd like to apologize. We'd like to say welcome to all of our listeners via radio, all of our people in the comment section. So let me begin with you, Martin. What's trending? I see you do a lot of this CACC. So what's trending from your end?
Thank you. I think we are starting on a good note. Permit me to also salute the legendary Miata family, Ente Miata, as many people call. It is a privilege to be more with Ente Miata, quite frankly, because she's our leader of the underground movement in Africa.
Very much so. Very much so.
Thanks, Veteran Zizu, again for the coordination of this podcast. Like I said today, the class Reloaded has become the town square of intelligentsia and fact-based analysis. So it is good to be on to say only the truth, because the truth will be in surplus tonight. So since you've asked me about the CACC, which we've been leading for the past 2 years, it is important for us to say to the Liberian people that the campaigners for academic crimes court in Liberia, CACC, remains committed to its funding mandate and functions. If you look at Liberia today, Stephen, you agree with me that we have come of age, yet we are so far away from prosperity for all. All of us in that country have an obligation to Liberia. And the first line of obligation is for us to demonstrate the highest semblance of patriotism. So we embarked on this process like 2 years ago to ensure and guarantee academic integrity throughout Liberia. It will interest you to know, after our research and thorough investigation, that over 90% of public officials in the Weah-led government have fake credentials.
Wow.
very fake credentials.
Staggering
Of course.
statistics.
We have exposed dozens of them. The realities are there. The statistics are there. The facts are there. So the question is, if public officials have fake credentials, what do we expect then? Do we expect productivity? Do we expect efficiency? Do we expect optimal output in terms of development and social economic dividends? The answer is no. The answer is no. So recently, because we don't have time, I guess I only have 2 minutes
I want
on
to
this
go to
particular
Anthony
CSC. So I just want to deal with the public official we just booked. And that public official is the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia.
Mhm.
The Vice President of the Republic of Liberia has a fake credential, a fake
Wow.
master's degree in banking and finance from the American Institute of Banking, ARB. And ARB is supervised or superintended by ABA, the American Banking Association.
Exactly.
So this institution was founded in 1907. I just want to give a brief context or background
Mhm.
because the vice president has said since 1996, you're talking about 26 years, this woman has succeeded in faking our country. 26 years, and nobody could discover that she has fake credentials until the CACC did recently. 26 years. She used that fake credential to become the deputy central bank governor of our country. You see how pathetic Liberia is? You see how pathetic Liberia is? So we discovered recently that the vice president's master's degree in banking and finance is fake. What did we do? We contacted the school. We officially wrote the school. The school confirmed that her degree is fake. Since 1907, the school was established. They have never offered any degree program.
Interesting revelation. Martin, we'll find time for us to take a deep dive.
They have never offered any degree program.
Exactly. We'll find time to go deep into the CSCC work. I'll bring you here maybe sometime next week.
You know?
So we can go to Anthony Miata, what's trending from your end? Welcome again.
Thank you, my dear. I'm sitting here stunned. I'm sitting here stunned at Martin's latest revelation.
Mm-hmm.
And all I want to tell the young brother there, keep doing what you are doing. You are not the only one. In Sierra Leone, there's presently a cleanup going on about the same malaise that's in the society everywhere. People coming up with these fake papers, etc. And the reason why I want Martin especially to continue is because people like us heard in our society over 7-8 years ago that education was not important.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that was one of the most painful things I ever heard for my country, because I'm aware that without education, we cannot have the development we want. Without education, we cannot have the society that we all want. And so, like I say, keep on doing what you're doing. Yeah, well, what's trending as a Liberian, yes, I'm listening to all the news. There's so many things trending, Stephen. You know, so many things trending in the society from last week. And all of them is worrisome for me. And I'm sure you've got listed the particular one. So I'll reserve any generalized comment until those issues come up and I can add to it.
Thank you, Anthony Miata. Amos, are you there?
Yes.
Amos, you muted.
You muted, Amos. Oh, try again. No, try again. He's still muted.
Let me see. Hello?
Yeah, you're
okay.
Good. Welcome.
You're good.
I think it's better now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, unfortunately, this is...
We're losing him. Unfortunately, I think the internet in Liberia is a little terrible today. Maybe it's raining.
Well, it was raining earlier. It was
Yeah.
raining earlier,
Yeah.
so
So yeah.
probably.
Hopefully once Amos get his internet okay, we can bring him back. I think there's a serious internet problem going on currently in Monrovia. But let's move to our first segment of the conversation, which is and unfortunately Senator is not here. I wanted us to play some tip so that we could all listen. But I'm sure all of us been following the trends. First thing was the president made a speech in which he said that the CDC COP was never a part of the CDC. And when we look back into history 2 years ago, we see that the CDC COP joined the CDC. There was an elaborate program at the party headquarters. We saw people like Jefferson Koji, Moba Molu, and some other prominent government officials in attendance, thus giving validity to this organization. Besides that, this organization was seen in bed with a number of public officials of the government. President, we are live. Martin, do you agree?
Oh yes, sure. The president lied. He did not only lie, but I think he was far more deceptive, hypocritical to our people in the international community about his pronouncement that he does not know the CDC COP. In fact, like you rightly said, Stephen, this pro-regime belligerent organization was formed or given birth to right on the headquarters of the ruling party. The chairman, Moba Molu, was in attendance. The youth chairman, the man who controls all the youth in the party, was in attendance, specifically in September of 2020. So how can an array of CDC executives be in attendance for the birth of this paramilitary Turkish group? Then the president, who is the standard bearer of the party, comes back to us and says he's not aware of this group called CDC COP. This is deception. Wow. This president has always been deceptive. Follow his record. Since yesteryears, the president has been deceptive. He knows every member of this group. A number of videos have been uploaded on the social media. And I hope those following can view those videos. He even invited this group in his church.
I remember.
They were in his church. The video is on Facebook. They made remarks in his church for Keklon Jilade Evangelical Assembly. They even honor him in his church. So after 2 years, the president has forgotten that this was the very same group he invited to his church, CDC, COP, or COP, CDC, whatever. But here is the fight, Stevens. This president, in my opinion, really does not understand the consequences of history. He has not even read history, so he does not know the consequences of history. When a paramilitary group or when a Turkish group of intransigent elements decides to launch violent aggression on a democratic institution like SOUP, it reminds us about the days of Wo Gapi Tapia, Tonia Richardson, Wiwi Deba, and other martyrs who laid down their lives for the very democracy that President we are enjoys today. And let me historicize a bit, because when I was at the University of Stevens, there was this popular conspiracy from the angle of the youth wing of the CDC that they are going to ensure that the Student Unification Party is erased totally. At that time, I was tenure bearer of the party. Jefferson Koji and others had hashed a national conspiracy against a campus-based political party that was even born before President Weah. And I can remember in October of that year, I appeared on the Prime Morning Drive and said this conspiracy is a dangerous trap that will entrap the ruling class. I can still remember what I said. So it is an illusion for the CDC-led government to think that they can erase an ideological and philosophical institution like the Student Unification Party. But let me provide this illusion. Let me provide this illusion to their illusion, right? Let me provide this illusion. Now, let us go back to history, Stevens, because these people don't understand history. These people don't understand history. When was President Weah born, Stevens? President Weah was born in October 1966, right?
Yes.
President Weah was born, or he was given birth to, in October 1966. The Student Unification Party was born October 20, 1970. President Weah was just 4 years of age when Soup was born. He was an infant.
Soup has survived many dictatorships.
Exactly. President Weah is an infant. He was an infant when Soup was challenging the oligarch regime.
And Martin, let me share with you my personal experience, right? Martin, let me share with you my personal experience. I was a student leader at the university before, and I was at the university when this famous March 21st incident took place, where ragtag, malicious, and underpaid bandits from the Taylor regime had stormed the university campus and raided us. I remember going through the way towards the Polytechnic. Some of our colleagues even went down the Jalatan Hill. Some of them broke their limbs. There was a girl who was pregnant. Eventually, we heard she died. And when that happened, the justice minister at the time, Eddington Varma, went on national radio and declared university students dissident collaborators. So we were essentially considered to be rebels, connected with Lord and the Mude and all of the Warren factions. So that's how much even holding a university ID card was something terrible. And what shocks me is I see the same Joe Howard Taylor around, and these were some of the people who did not even say a word when some of these atrocities were being committed under that regime. But let me come to Enter Miata a little bit. Enter Miata, you've been around way longer than all of us. You've seen history, you've lived history. You come from a background of a progressive background. You're from your grandfather, your father. Those were all people who fought for the creation of the democratic space that we all can enjoy. Looking back at history and looking at what is your take on this?
First of all, I'm not even going to go with the incident because we've had so many incidents that the president needed to address. So the one on 26th day was a minor incident compared to others, murders, rapes, etc. What is painful for me, though, is that in the Liberian society, when this incident happened on 26th day, I heard nothing from Liberians. I heard nothing from Liberian political leaders. I heard nothing. 7 days went by. And then the US Embassy puts out a statement. The EU puts out a statement. And all of a sudden, is now the president comes to talk to us, and only because the international community has spoken, our government does not give a rat's ass about the Liberian people, all of us. They don't care. He only came to make that statement because the international community came to say something. And you desperately want to go to Washington, D.C. in December, where other African leaders are coming to talk about development, etc., under Joe Biden. That, for me, is an insult. Is an insult to me as a Liberian. Is an insult. And I'm saying, yes, it's happened over the years, etc., but I've never seen such surrender of your sovereignty. Whether the Liberians talk, whether Soup talks, whether the seniors in our society talk, it means nothing to this government. It means nothing to this government. And I can always tell the Liberian people, hey, the Americans or whichever foreigners in our country, they are there in their own interests. They are not there in our interests. They are not there in our interests. And I've seen it, and I've known it, and I've lived it. So if George Weah and his government has no respect for us, the Liberians, then like Professor Alaric Tupwa said the other day, then he gotta go. He gotta go.
He has to go.
Yeah.
And
It's not
voting
Americans. It's not Americans who are voting. It is not Americans who are voting. And between you and myself, whatever is given to us is not going to take care of our development. It's not going to solve our issues. You understand? If America can jump up and give Ukraine $5 billion, and we are considered the oldest friend on the continent, the oldest friend on the continent, who are we? Who are we? And they can see it. They're there. They're there all over. They see what our people are going through. So the sooner we wake up and, smell the coffee, and probably we can all join in unity to do something for that country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Martin, I'm coming to you. But before I come to you, let me deconstruct something here a little bit, and I will want you to weigh in on this. There seems to be a pattern here, and Auntie Miata spoke about it in her opening when she talked about 7 years ago when people talk about how the book people has failed the country, and it was time for people who quote unquote didn't have that kind of education to lead. But there's a pattern here that we must deconstruct. There's a psychological part of it that we see trending within the CDC. Take for instance, most of the guys who did the brutal act on 26th day, where some of them were student leaders, already current student leaders. Some of them are university students. If you look back, university students or student leader will never reduce themselves to such thuggish action, right? University student leaders were groomed to be future leaders. But under this government, there's a pattern here. People who are educated when they join the CDC, they are debased, they are dehumanized, they are forced to play the role of the Sabu unit while the Sabu unit is on holiday. And if you look at the pattern here, for instance, somebody like Jeremiah Slonte joined the CDC, he was humiliated, high knee down, put beret on his head. There are many other Liberians who joined the CDC, then they were humiliated, educated. There are lots of vacancies in the country. You have the vacancy in Qatar, you have vacancy in Guinea, the AU, the United Nations, yet and still, Slonte cannot even be appointed. Now, there are many other Liberians like Slonte who joined the CDC with watch ceremony where they were forced to kneel down, the wasted water in their head at the party headquarters. So this tells you the extent to which CDC will debase you. So those are the people who sitting on the fence and saying, for example, oh yes, we will support the CDC, we will get job. No, you won't get job. Samuel Tuah will remain finance minister for the next 12 years. Magay will remain Minister of State for the next 12 years, and all of the deputies and all of the assistant ministers will still maintain the position for the next 12 years. So, Martin, do you see this trend? How do you see this trend about people who have the skill set, people who have the expertise, simply because they didn't join the CDC before? Once they join, they are being forced to engage in acts of thuggery, banditry, and mayhem.
Zizu, in fact, you've made a very salient point. I totally agree with your analysis. That's the fight. Now, let me say this to the Liberian people. There is a difference between an ideological movement and a misguided court. I repeat, there is a difference between an ideological movement and a misguided court. The CDC is not an ideological movement. It is not even a movement. It is a court. CDC does not believe in anything. Ask them what is their philosophy. They will tell you power to the people. Is power to the people a philosophy?
It's a slogan.
The matter is laughing. Of course, it is a slogan or a mantra, right? The Student Unification Party is an ideological movement because we believe in a philosophy, and that philosophy is massocracy.
Massocracy.
A leadership of the masses, for the masses, and by the masses. Go and ask them what do they believe in. And you just struck an important point. you just struck an important point. Look across the government today. Look at the quality of leaders, quote unquote, we have. Are they really competent? Are they qualified? I was just dealing with one of them this few days from the Ministry of Commerce, right? The young madam, or the young lady, has a degree in education. I want you to put the degree in quote because we're investigating. Our first investigation discovered that she even lied about her quote unquote doctorate degree. How can you do education? For example, your focus, your career path is education, but you are now serving as the minister of the Ministry of Commerce. Does that make sense to anybody watching? This is misplacement. And this is why we are not getting anything out of the system. There's no result at all. Let's go to the Ministry of Education. How can you make a career accountant Minister of Education? How can you make a career accountant Minister of Education when we have educators who are trained to discharge such function in the country? They are not out of the country. There are dozens of them in the country. So we do not believe in competence. We do not believe in excellence. We do not believe in fair competition. And this is why our country is the way it is. Veteran Zizu, I gave you an example. For example, when we launched this CSCC, right, we were very clear about our mandate. As I speak to you, we've exposed dozens and dozens of fake credentialists. Like I said the other day, this is the era or the dispensation of credential audit. The reason why we are tough when it comes to this process is because we've learned a lot from Tanzania. Let's go to Tanzania a bit, just for 1 minute. Peace be to his arches, John Pombe Magufuli. Let's go to what he did. Yeah, peace be to his arches, John Pombe Magufuli. In April 2017, the legendary John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania sacked or dismissed 9,900 civil servants, including political appointees and senior public officials of government. Why did he do that? They have fake credentials. When he did that, Stephen, do you know the result that came out of that decision? In less than 3 years, Tanzania transitioned from a low-income country to a middle-income country, according to the World Bank. And listening to the transition, very interesting, and Liberia needs to learn from this. I hope President Weah is listening. We need to learn from this because he weeded out 9,900 fake credentialists, academic fraudsters, and decided to include people who had legitimate credentials, he started getting results out of the system. You see where result can come from? And in less than 3 years, his country became a middle-income country from a low-income country. And for those listening, let me just break it down for our common people. A lot of people are listening across Liberia, right? When you say low-income country according to World Bank standards, you're talking about a country with a GNI, gross national income per capita, of 1,085 United States dollars or less, right? But it should be 1,085 United States dollars. So Tanzania transitioned from this amount to 4,255 United States dollars.
Almost
Gross
400%
national income
increase.
per capita.
300%
Exactly.
increase.
Exactly. And you understand it very well as an economist. But let's break it down for our people. When we say gross national income per capita, it means the overall income or the total income of the country divided by the May year population of the country. For example, we are in July, right? If we calculate our total income, we divide it by the total number of people last month, we get the gross national income per capita. So Tanzania went way up 4,000 plus from 1,085. So you see where came out of the decision John Magufuli took? So we are not basically concerned about fake credentials because we just want to be concerned about it. We understand, we know the dividends, the merits that can come out of this particular exercise. But again, the government is not interested. The government is not interested in what we are doing. So there's nothing coming out of the system. Our people are suffering. The economy, like somebody said, has even passed by the toilet now. It is in the septic.
It's in the septic tank.
Yeah.
And every day we hear say budget surplus, and then people taking money from the road fund, people taking money from companies that don't have no license to operate to pay civil servants. But let me come to Amos.
You get budget surplus, you can pay civil servants. Can you imagine?
Amos, are you there? Can you hear us now?
He's okay.
Yeah, sure, Stephen.
Yeah, I know you're having some difficulty.
I'm getting you. So at least it's very seriously disappointing, extremely disappointing. But I'm happy to be on.
We're here. The show will be here. You have a whole day to yourself. You'll come here. We'll sit. We'll drill you one-on-one.
Oh yeah, sure.
We're looking forward to that. But welcome. And what's your take on
yeah,
the topic?
sure.
I know you've been following.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on your.
Thank you. So well.
Congratulations,
biggest opposition political party.
Thank you, comrades. Thank you, the activists, Collie and Stephen. And I'm very grateful to be on the platform with our mother, Madam Miata family. I want to extend greetings to the viewers, our partisans, Liberians all over the world. I'm very happy to be here, and on behalf of the national chairman, Dr. Luther Tape, the chairman of the Unity Party and members of the National Executive Committee, we extend greetings to our citizens and partisans and other support networks across the country. I'd like to begin from the UP. I don't know whether you want us to begin from the UP or you want us to begin with governance and which is very much important. So as a matter of fact, that we concluded our convention, of course, the week of July 26 through to the 29th, and delegates, almost about 400 of them converged on Banga, and they were able to make a decisive decision, on the kinds of leaders they would prefer to lead the party in preparation for the 2023 general legislative and presidential election. So we're very much happy to have emerged victorious. I'm happy on behalf of the committee as National Secretary General. So we want to say thanks to our partisans, to the delegates. So on behalf of the Standard Bearer, we extend our greetings. Currently, the Unity Party, all of us are aware that is focusing on rallying the collective energies of the citizens of Liberia in an effort to unseat democratically this government that has shown absolute neglect on the interest and the well-being of the citizens of Liberia. So one of the things we're basically focusing on right now is doing lots of outreach to our partisans, people, whether you're sitting on the fence, whether you've been inactive, you've been very passive. We have a very Herculean task to be able to fulfill to meet the overarching interests of the citizens of Liberia. So our task is to be able to reach out to let you know that you have the right platform established, you know, to in order for us to democratically unseat this government. So as leaders of the UP currently, we like to, on behalf of the current nationally elected officers, extend, you know, our very profound thanks to the outgoing leadership led by former Chairman Ami Moda and my dear brother, the Secretary General Mo Ali, who have done exceptionally well. You know, they've been able to establish a very good platform. They've been able to build, you know, score some successes that we believe we are going to be able to build on in order for us to fulfill the strategic objective of the Unity Party. So I just like to, on behalf of the national chairman, Dr. Luther Tape, who has been, you know, who has expressed some very positive sentiments, you know, about them, to say that we look forward to working with them. We look forward to the suggestions and recommendations. Our arms are open to Chairman Moda and, of course, Comrade Mo Ali. I'd like to also inform our people on this platform that Mo has been very cooperative. You know, the last few days since we got elected, Mo has been cooperative, and I'm hoping that that can extend to all the leaders of the party. Nice. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, maybe the next 2 days from now, we will officially take over the institution, and we'll begin to reach out to everybody, you know, Liberians, to be able to ensure a democratic unseating of this administration, like I indicated to you.
Oh, we're losing.
We lost him again.
We're losing Amos. He was taking a very interesting path, and I think it's important for and one of the things that you see the difference. You see the difference, and let me come to you, Miata. You see the quality of people in leadership in the opposition and the way they approach national issue, right? You look at the CDC, you see people who should have similar or who have similar quality. They've not been used to provide leadership, whether it's at the director level or just analyst level in the organization, within the government or any other organization. They are essentially being used as talks. You have university students being used as talks to go in the street, brutalize other people in the name of being a party loyalist. But on the other hand, when you look in the opposition, you see critical voices. They come on here, they make compelling argument. They present a very compelling case as to why this government under George Weah is a massive failure, and why it is important for Liberians in 2023 to mobilize themselves and vote Weah out of power.
Professor is coming back on.
Professor, you gotta put your camera on. If your internet is good, you gotta let us see. I know you've been struggling with your internet all the way there in Grand Bassa County. Oh, we lost him again.
All right. Can I say something?
Yeah, and Miata. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm back. I'm sure. So
yeah, Amos is back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, Amos, go ahead. You're in flight.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Amos. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we'd like to announce to our partisans that we are experiencing a dawn of a new day in the UP. We are going to build on the gains that the former leadership was able to score, and we are looking forward to working with them and to work with the rest of Liberians far and near in an effort to be able to democratically unseat this administration over the next few months. From now, we will be focusing basically on ensuring that our different counties and constituencies are ready, whilst at the same time, we are going to be working very closely with our collaborating partners, those that have stood by and with the Unity Party for the last few months, since we started to prepare for 2023. The basic issue right now, the focus right now is governance. And all of us are aware of the fact that the administration has shown serious neglect. Not just that they're focusing on enriching themselves, but of course, they've shown neglect on when it comes to the protecting the well-being and the interests of the citizens of Liberia. And I know that one of the very interesting topics that you guys were discussing is this question on the July 26 Ihimiu Act that was carried out by the talkage, the CDC talks. What is very interesting is the fact that, and I'd like to speak directly to the statement made by President Weah, I think day before yesterday or so. I consider that statement very much to be deceptive, frankly speaking and brutally speaking. The President Weah was deceptive, and there are two reasons why the president was pressured to make that statement. The president was pressured, first off, by our development partners. I think we read their statement yesterday that came up. And in addition to that, what is very necessary to be stated, and as a reason why President Weah came up, is because he was threatened. The president was threatening that if he did not take steps to ensure that perpetrators of the July 26 incident were brought to book, he would have been delisted from the list of African leaders that have been invited in Washington. And this is important. It's a very important information. That's the reason why the president hastily did that pre-recorded speech to the citizens of Liberia. So it was a deceptive speech intended to remain on the list of African leaders. And this is very much unfortunate, because when the president says that he is unaware of any organization called CDC-COP, then what happened in 2020 when you had the entire leadership of the CDC participating in programs? And I know probably some of the things that I'm going to say here have been already stated. I'm really deeply sorry about that. But it just shows that all of us have deep interest in what the CDC has been doing to show neglect on the well-being of the people of Liberia, and the way they continue to sanction these inhumane actions and act against the people of this country. So in 2020, we all are aware of the fact that the CDC-COP was established right under the sycamore tree. And programs.
Yeah, we all watch it live.
They were attended by the rest of the leaders of the CDC, maybe besides President George Weah, and he is aware of it. So on countless of occasions, the CDC-COP have been representing the CDC, making lots of press statements, engaging in different actions, and so.
Oh, we're losing Amos. Senator, welcome.
Man,
I know.
I'm out of town.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know what? We're starting this thing. We're in a
But we keep on, and that's why I panic.
We're
Because
testing
we keep
in
on.
the back.
We did our
Here we
prelude.
go.
I went to get ready and get
I
back.
showed that the internet again.
Yeah, and then the internet started giving problems.
Yeah. My internet has issues. So
Amos, you there?
my internet has issues.
Amos has some technical,
Yeah,
issues.
so Senator, before the internet go off, can you just say something to before?
Stevie, you guys are doing pretty well. I was worried because
Hello?
Liberia now depends on this show.
Okay.
And bringing Monty on tonight was a big deal.
Yeah,
With everybody already set up, taking away from her busy schedule, it was bothering me. But it's good to always have good handlers, and you are just a very perfect host.
Thank you, Senator.
You're doing well. So let me be here. Let me follow. I will come in on the issue with, I don't know if you guys touched it already, the issue with the RRA and the nominee.
No, we didn't. We thought that you would talk about it. Saying it's right in your alley, and you the co-chair on that committee.
Okay, so but I was enjoying Amos too, Amos.
Okay, yeah, let Emma
Can we?
You be there, yeah. Let Emma finish.
Yeah, let Amos flow.
Emma, go ahead.
Let me say good evening and good day to viewers on the social media, and good evening to listeners in Liberia, across Liberia, the Vera radio station. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Senator. Amos, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So so as I was saying, I mean, this is interesting, and it's a lesson learned for these young people. Unfortunately, for them,
So let me be here. Let me follow.
We're losing Amos again.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What problem is this?
Somebody need to mute their volume.
You know, beyond
It's
just
Amos.
putting them under the bus. Yeah.
Go ahead, Amos.
You know, he placed them under the bus, and so this is to show that whatever loyalty that they've been demonstrating to get the ears or the eyes of the president, that the president actually has no time for them. Unfortunately, you have a police that was instructed by the president. They had to wait for instruction from the president to. It's kind of small screen, like somebody probably might have placed it, because yesterday I saw them at the police station taking pictures. I mean, if this is a serious administration, if this government or is this country is probably not having the semblance of a banana republic, you will never have seen young people who engage in torturing another, victimizing another innocent young man, studying at the Liberia National Police to take pictures. They went there to take pictures. They went there on safari. And I can bet my neck, and I'm quite very certain people here probably might have provided the evidence that none of these gentlemen are in jail, as the president instructed. So what the president did was very deceptive, and it's important for us to stress here to the international community that the president has not demonstrated any sign of seriousness to bring perpetrators to book. That even the Liberia National Police, they are also considered accomplices to the actions carried out, the AMU Act carried out on that young man, you know, on Cicelo. So as members of the opposition community, this is not just concerning, but it's important to stress here that we will not continue to allow, especially as we approach the 2023 general and presidential election, when you have young men stampeding their way into history to remind the government of their neglect of the different promises that they made. The government continues to intimidate people. We cannot sit down here as opposition members and continue to allow that or clap our hands. In preparation for the 2023 general and presidential election, we are also going to prepare for any physical attempt to intimidate us. It's important to stress this.
Very important.
It's important to stress this.
Thank you, Amos. Thank you. So, Senator, if unless you don't want to talk, we're now moving to our second segment of the show, in which we're looking at the reported arrest of the perpetrator by the police. And let me begin with you, Ente Miata. Ente Miata. Yeah, I want your thoughts on this. Why should we trust the police? Because I remember when there were other arrests, for instance, they missing 25 million, they missing 16 billion. We saw people being around before the press. They were placed in orange jumpsuit. They took their mug shots, and it was all across, social media. But you have somebody who you have a group of thugs engaged in attempted murder of far more consequence than economic sabotage. And then we haven't seen any pictures of any arrests. We just see the police issue a statement and say, yeah, we've arrested 7 persons in our custody. We don't see any charge sheet. We don't see any mugshot. Why should we trust the police?
And what more do we need to see? Look, Stephen, my Nigerian friends will say everything scatter. Everything don't chakra for our country. It don't scatter.
I'm telling you.
Okay? So why are we getting, frustrated? Everything, Amos, I hear you. They know what they're doing. I said earlier, they do not care. They don't care. And this is the saddest thing for me, because we talk about this democracy that we came back shouting and fighting for, and to see what has happened in our country today, it's them against us in the society. It's them against us. We talk about the manpower that was thrown out of the ministries, etc. Everything, all our institutions are broken down. Development has stopped. What do you expect the police to do? I remember a couple of years back, I think the 101 or the 102, who was a part of the government, and they flogged him.
Yeah, at the CDC headquarters. He was
They flogged the man.
And
You
nothing came out
understand
of it.
me? They flogged
They
it.
beat him good.
So why should I expect that policeman or my brother, tell him, can't sit on your brother. Don't let nobody try to kill you here for nothing. Because what was that lone policeman or two policemen going to do with that angry crowd? And they were angry. They were angry. I got a copy of the tape of that young man being beaten. And I tell you all, I could not watch to the end. When it reached the stage when they took his pants off, my mind went straight back to 1990 of Samuel Kanyadu. Every single thing that is happening with the CDC or the COP is a constant reminder of our war days. They have meetings and they sing, "We are the masses, we can't get tired." You know, you taunt your other citizens. There's nothing good about this. There's nothing good about this. And I want to say quickly to Samuel Twe, I'm glad the outreach for the Unity Party has started. I'm glad the outreach has started because every single one of us, teach one, bring 10 people on. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. I hear other broadcasters, "Oh, Unity Party ain't got money and this," and I'm glad Unity Party doesn't have money. Then I can stand up and say my candidate, Joseph Boyka, didn't steal a dime.
Exactly. They didn't steal.
Madam Sally didn't get him chance to steal nothing. I know the man. He steal nothing. So that's the leader I want. And at his age, he will not be thinking about stealing. He will not be thinking about stealing.
And then the other,
Yeah.
and then the other, Councillor Broskin, Councillor Charles Broskin told us over and again at Liberty Party. He said, when you see an old man stealing, he started stealing the time he was old. He started stealing the time he was young. Joseph Boyka steal from the time he was young. He will not
You
steal.
money? Why you steal? Why you steal? You know what I mean? And I'm saying, you know, all the time we talk, "Oh, you got money." George Weah initially didn't have any money in 205.
He was broke.
It was the partisans. The partisans who they printed their own T-shirt. They did the same thing that is now going on for Peter Obi in Nigeria, where the young people have said, "We don't want any money. We don't want any money."
Even our own Senator Delon on the set.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
They don't never have money. Thomas
No.
Fala was considered ATM machine. He was always using money.
Yes.
We whipping by more than 85,000 margin.
You know, what is this money thing? What is this money thing?
You need people to believe. When people are convinced and they believe in a philosophy and an ideology, they will come out. And let me come to you, Martin. You've been a former, student leader. You in exile. You watch firsthand police brutality. And you usually give account every time I follow you on social media. You give account about most of these. The police is a complete partisan police. There's no sense of security in the country. A lot of people don't trust the system. This is why you see the prevalence of mob violence. When people commit crime, instead of people running to the police, people take action in their own hand. I saw in Maryland, women took to the street, sat on the road because of in protest of secret killing, and no action taken by the government or the police. What is responsible for all these social and political, economic turmoil in the country?
Zizu, the answer is very simple. The executive mansion is empty. You have a shadow president who does not know what to do. Besides him being clueless, he's also corrupt. So that's double jeopardy. He's not only clueless, but he's corrupt as well. That's double jeopardy.
He tells us he's a celebrity. Martin, don't forget, he tells us he's a celebrity.
Exactly.
And you know how celebrities are. We have to wear designer shoes.
Exactly.
Designer
And he
garments.
looks ex-soccer star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, later the fact that we can't clean up our city because we don't have the means and the dirt and the city is flooding. Yeah. So let's remember
the
that.
international community will have to be reminding the international community will have to be reminding us to clean our own capital city. Then this tells you that Liberia has become a victim of leadership bankruptcy in the last 5 years under George Weah. But I just want to make reference to the point raised by you, Ente Miata, and the senator about this money conundrum. Money.
Yeah, you need $5 billion to win election.
Exactly. You need $1 billion to win election. That's not true. Let's go to 2005.
Thank you.
A lot of the lawmakers that came on board from CDC, right, in 2005, did not have a dime. Thomas Fala was selling plank. He realized.
That's right.
Martin.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell all of us something. I am a gift to this country by you, all of us together. When I mean a gift, I am an example. This country needs character, discipline, spine, the kind of character, and the right message from the kind of opposition to win the election. Let me tell you something. George Weah already told he won't be president. President Weah has demonstrated to us that he won't be president.
We can take it.
President Weah is not speaking it, he's demonstrating it. President Weah is telling this country, he's giving a message to this country. But only smart people can. President Weah is saying by his action, my people, y'all see me here. And you see the thing I'm doing, you don't come by here. Y'all see the raping children? I get time. People dying mysteriously. I get time. Auditors can die. I get time. GSC, LSCC can issue reports and indict people and I prosecute anybody. Y'all see me here? And y'all put me by that your business. Me, the only reason I may be on the ballot in 2023 that because my gay and Samuel Tuwede hijacked me, I get no vote on my own. But y'all see me. Y'all see me. Anything happening to y'all from Monday to Friday, I can go back to go play football and go swing. My first term, people use their first term, but that is kind of simplified message our people need to understand. President Weah is speaking by his action. President Weah is saying, my people, these guys have had me hostage and they got my balls in their palm. I can't breathe. I can't shake. And y'all see me, my first time, I get your time. I don't care. When you put me by it, your business. I am telling you about my action. For you not to put me by it, because from Monday to Friday, I can be to play park, playing. When I 26 time, I can be the first to get my 26 clothes, even when the cherry in West Point, Newton, and Clarence, I ain't get nothing to wear.
Man is the most popular musician in Liberia.
Christmas time, the whole
I was going to say that. Don't forget now, he's delivered some music in his first term.
Yeah, the president is saying, my people, Liberia, you open your eyes and see that I don't want to be president, but I can't talk it. I am demonstrating it to y'all. What kind of president will get us 6 o'clock in the morning to go practice football and get up at 11 o'clock to go to work? The man is demonstrating by his action. He is begging us by his action. President Weah is saying, I beg you, I'm on hostage by Tuwede and Magede and Emmanuel Shaw and Charles Braden. I am begging y'all, please don't put me biased. All the thing what we are sounding funny, but let me tell you something. When people who have opportunity for 2 terms, their first term they can do.
That's why they can behave.
People who have opportunity for 2 terms, their first term they can use it to impress.
That's
To
right.
get everybody to go for the second
That's
term.
right.
When somebody who has an opportunity for 2 terms in their first term, they're behaving like this. It's just a man approach a woman and they love him. And he's not responsible for the house, no light, no school fee for the children, no food. He can't take care of the woman. Then in the end, he tell the woman, say, I won't marry you. Only one woman who not see you or know her future will agree to marry that man. President Weah is demonstrating by his action, not words, because he can't speak Jeremy. President Weah is saying, my people are begging you in the name of God. Y'all look at the thing what I'm doing. Y'all don't put me by it. Martin, all the the reason I agree with President Weah to say, don't judge me on the eloquence of my speech because I tell him I can't speak well. I'm not eloquent. But he says you must judge me on the basis of the quality of the decision I will take. All the men decision poll. All the men decision poll.
Exactly.
NSCC report on the dustbin. People who
No justice for 4 auditors.
no justice for the poor, children dying, children being raped and dying over it. The president and his wife, the first lady who's supposed to be the mother of the country, she doesn't even panic. She doesn't even say a word. The president is demonstrating by action and saying, my people, I can't talk because my gate and hold me hostage. But I'm demonstrating to you, you're gonna put me by you. When you put me by you, you're being got a election will tell you that that football game when the player not playing middle of the
substitute right away. Martin, go ahead.
Quite frankly, the senator has simplified what I was about to say. So I'm going to make some additions. Number one, you have a president that has violated almost all the laws in the country. Almost all the laws. The rule of law is a value of the past. There is nothing in our country, Zizu, that scored the rule of law. The very constitution that the president took oath to protect is being violated intermittently by himself. And no one questions this president about those violations. So let's come to the 26 violence in the context of the question you just asked. But before going there, I just want to give a brief medical report of Cecilu's situation, you know, because
let how is he coming?
People deserve to know, you know. Yeah. So we spoke with the doctor this morning, fellow Liberians, and the doctor said, I'm quoting him directly. He said, Chris' situation remains critical, but they are doing their best to stabilize it. So since 26, his situation is still critical. He further said he is still suffering from excessive pain, swelling foot, swelling face, and he suffers also from periodic mental confusion. He tried to explain that to me. You know, I'm not a medical person, but he said it's more traumatizing or psychological. Yeah. So Chris is going through a lot as a result of the aggressive, brutal, and belligerent action meted against him by this.
And you guys are doing a fundraiser, right? So people can go on your page and look for the fundraiser there so they can contribute on your page, right?
Yeah, sure. We are doing a fundraiser. So those of you who will contribute, those people who are watching us. Yeah. So let me just say to you, we managed to have launched this fundraiser. Chris is out of the country. We could not afford for Chris to be in country because he was at risk. He was at risk. And you know how exposed almost every institution in our country is. So we could not afford for this hero of national solidarity and democracy to remain in Liberia. So we flew him out of the country after a day of that incident. So Chris is seeking foreign medication in an unknown country. And I won't say the country because of strategic and security reasons.
Yeah, it's
But
important.
we are hopeful, we are praying to God that the situation improves. Yeah, so if you want to contribute, the links, the numbers are on my page. Just go there and give whatever little you want to contribute to support his foreign medication. Chris will get well, and Liberia will be redeemed from the claws of this dictator. I call him the black fascist. So let's get to the question, Stephen. Now, President Weah and his accomplices need to understand that Liberia is a democratic country according to Article 3 of the 1986 Constitution. There are international protocols and statutes that also guarantee this particular system of governance in Liberia. So nobody, not even Mr. Weah, can take away the democratic privileges that the Liberian people currently enjoy. That's the first point I want to make. The second point is, am I surprised about what happened on 26th day? The answer is no. It has happened many times, and there has been absolutely no action. Look at the situation in district number 15, for example. Look at the situation in district number 13.
13, Cornelia.
When I was tenor bearer of the Student Unification Party, the campuses of the university were invaded on a regular basis.
Even
by
Dr.
these
Sawyer's
team
memorial.
talking elements. Thank you very much.
His birthday.
So it has
His
happened many
birthday
times.
celebration.
But here is my own disappointment, Stevens. In the context of our criminal justice system, even if the president is a dictator, the Ministry of Justice or the Minister of Justice who has got the statutory responsibility, he's the only person that can disagree with the president according to the law. The Minister of Justice. He's the only public official appointed by the president that can disagree with the president.
Exactly.
And say, Mr. President, no, I don't agree with you.
He can never make
So
it.
if the minister come again?
No, I mean Musa Din is weak.
He will not do it. So let's go ahead, Martin.
Exactly, and I agree with you, because the Ministry of Justice has to wait for the president to give order for an action to be taken against an attempted murder.
So, but Martin,
This is
what proof do we have that these guys are actually being arrested? What proof?
There is zero proof, absolutely zero proof. There is no proof that they have been arrested. Like we said yesterday, we want to see videos, we want to see pictures, right, of them in their orange suits. They need to be in orange jumpsuits with handcuffs because they committed attempted murder. Chris still remains in a critical condition. For God's sake, this country is a democratic country, Mr. Weah. No one has to agree with you. They actually need to read the models of democracy. There are two models of democracy. Let me provide this free tutorial for them. Probably they haven't read the models of democracy.
They need
to read.
Martin.
There are two models of democracy, right? You have the CM, which is the consensus model of democracy, and you have the MM, which is the majoritarian model of democracy. Where does Liberia fit in the context of our own system and laws? We are leaning on the side of the majoritarian model or model of democracy, which says all power is inherent in the people. So the very power that President Weah has is the people's power. It's a borrowed power. It's a borrowed power. That power is not his. It is the people's. He needs to understand that. So whenever the people are disenchanted, whenever the people are displeased, and they want to express themselves, they do different things to express themselves. One of the things they do, protest. Protest is permissible under our law,
It's a
even in
fundamental
our
right.
constitution. Exactly. So when a group of young comrades from the campus-based Student Unification Party decide to protest at any given time, the government should not use paramilitary talks to crack down on them. And those paramilitary talks, Zizu, they were heavily guarded by police officers. Police officers who are supposed to enforce the law. Police
I saw a
officers
video
who
where
are
the police
supposed to
were even giving
guarantee.
them. I saw a video the police were giving them water to drink from the back of a pickup truck.
Exactly. Police giving them water to drink. So the action
No,
of those police officers.
I don't think an issue about police giving them water to drink should be an issue, because even when we were doing June 7, the police were giving us water to drink. But after police gave us water to drink, were orderly behaved.
Yeah, but
Senator,
are two different.
After police gave the other talks water
The
to
police
drink,
were giving them water for any jet to commit crime.
for energy, and then when they started the violence and the act of rebel attitude, the police was smiling, looking at them. That is why the police itself is called into question here.
But
Senator,
Senator,
Yeah,
are you
saw a
aware
press
that
release from the police talking about they have a group of police officers going on a standard. We don't even see their name, their badge number to know who we're talking about. The entire police is a complete letdown.
but Zizu, let me say this quickly. Probably enter my matter, the senator can come in. Let me lay my thought on two important things.
Okay.
Number one, the LMP we have is a partisan police force. Are you aware that the Inspector General is an executive member of the CDC?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Martin, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am saying the LMP is a partisan police force. Our people have lost total confidence and trust in the Liberian National Police. There is no argument about this. This is not debatable. This is the fact. The reason is very simple. The police is more partisan. The police is not independent. In their judgment, in their action, they are not. And this brings me to the point to remind Inspector General Patrick Sudu about his functions in line with Section 22.72, subsection A of the 2016 National Police Act. The functions are clear. What's the functions of the police? Number one, to protect life and property. Number two, to maintain law and order. Number three, to prevent, deter, and detect crimes. Number four, to protect fundamental freedoms and rights of all individuals. So what comrades from SUB were doing on 26th day, they were exercising their fundamental rights. And the police is under obligation to protect them.
By
But the
law.
police did not protect them. By law, it is by law. The police is not doing us favor to be protecting us. It is by law. That's their mandate. That's their statutory mandate. The Ministry of Justice also, they are not doing us favor, right? They are not doing us favor if they enforce Chapter 22 of the Executive Law, Title 13. It is by law.
Martin,
All these things are by law. But the contract become lawless.
Can I ask Martin?
It's a banana
The
republic.
Can I ask Martin
Exactly.
if he really, Martin, you think the Inspector General of Police has read your article?
I'm not
This
too sure.
article
Anything
you-
that I published it this morning. I published it this
I
morning.
said it before.
I don't know
Everything
what I
not chakra. Everything not chakra is
I don't
kata.
think so.
If you see, if you see now, so the fact that we have reached here, everybody's supposed to see, is a lawless society that we're living in. Let me say this. Today, Talia Ure posted about the class reloaded. Dylan, Miata, Auntie Miata, blah, 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 blah. And some individual that I don't know came under the post and said, unserious people. So I went back on the post, right to his post, and I asked him, do you know me? Then he came back, do you want me to know you? This is the dilemma of where this government, I do not blame them for all the horrors because things has happened to us since 1980, 90, and so on. But I hold this government responsible because we no longer have respect in the society. The younger generation have absolutely no respect for the elders. And I'm saying it is because of the leadership. It's because of the leadership of our country that choose to disrespect our elders.
Yes.
I heard a story when I was in Monrovia. The women of Liberia in 2018, decided to come together and invite the First Lady to meet with women in Liberia who have been there toiling, made their own contribution. When it was expressed to the leader that, like, who are some of these women? And they called the names of Teresa Lee Sherman, Ban Ki-moon, a former foreign minister, etc. They were just dismissed. Oh, my, what do with me one?
Wow.
Wow.
A leader who is divisive in his very thought, who is divisive. You do not give any credence to the fact that Ban Ki-moon Akerele was former foreign minister of Liberia. You no longer want to recognize a Teresa Lee Sherman, who was part of the peace process and signed for the women of Liberia in 2003 in the Accra Peace Accord.
Exactly.
You don't know how to accord. You know, it's such a tragedy. That's why, you know, the only way I can put it is, Efini,
The chakra.
It's Qatar.
you don't scatter.
Liberia
You don't
has chakra.
scatter. And I don't know how we're going to put it there. Look,
Everything scatter.
everything scatter, the family values gone out of the window, prostitution has increased, disaffected youths and adults, the Zogos taking over, family values finish. And for some reason, the leadership is not concerned. The leadership is not concerned. And the followers every day are simply getting on social media. How do they put it? To cast on, oh, we've built this road, we've built that road. Listen, you're supposed to build the damn road. That's why you have the power.
And that's why you have the budget.
And that's why you have the budget. You're supposed to.
Who's supposed to build a road?
Who's supposed to build a road?
Well, you're in charge of the country.
You know, this is it. And,
Say you want to build a road, lead
you know,
the country.
and nothing has happened in Liberia since 1847. When you say George Weah was born 1966?
Yeah, October.
Yes.
October 1st, 1966.
The Commerce Ministry and the Land and Mines was built. The Executive Mansion was built. The Ministry of Information was built. Kennedy Hospital was built. What is this? How do we sit
Well,
and
the man was 4 years old.
nothing? You
The man
know
was 4
nothing.
years old when SUP was funded.
Yeah. You know nothing about the history of our country. And you are
Exactly.
embarrassing us if nobody has said it. If nobody has said it to Mr. George Weah and Lord, you forgive me because I don't want to be in his place. I don't want his job. But he's an embarrassment to me. If the whole population of Liberia is not embarrassed, I am embarrassed as a leader because this poor little country that we all love and hate and use, this country was the inspiration to the Ghana, to the Nigeria, to the Senegal, to everywhere.
Even African Americans went back home.
Exactly.
This little country that nothing happened since 1847. Are you aware that we have government toilets, 1955 in Liberia?
Even fire hydrants. We have fire hydrants.
Government toilets were built for the public, and you could go there and shower. Those people who didn't have bathrooms. So many things. So many things we do not know about our country. And we've handed, look, man, like I say, you know, this talk can go on forever and ever. Now, today, they say Liberia is 33rd in the world of fragile nations. If George Weah cannot understand that, can McGill, can his closest advisors, 33rd in fragile nation, it means we're just shaking. It means we're just shaking.
We're on the brink of disaster.
We're on the brink. And yet people are still going around singing praises. You know, it's embarrassing. Mr. Weah, if you are going to places and I mean, they're shaking your hands and everybody is smiling, I want to let you know, as a fellow Liberian, you are now the joke of Africa. You are now the joke of Africa. And it's unfortunate because you did play your football well, but your governance is not there. It's not there. If you love our country, let me tell you the last thing. If you love Liberia, for the land that it is, you will not go for the presidency. You will not go for the presidency in 2023. You will not go for it because all of the people who are running around you, you're going to add 6 years to their lives, which will be nothing. I will be 80 years old. I will still be comfortable. And Martin, Asari, and Stephen. But let me say this and add it to it, what has happened in the country. Every Liberian is supposed to be free to go into the country. I want a society where I can stand up if something makes me upset and voice it. Madame Salif, whom I campaigned for, when I thought she was falling out of line, I would say it on the radio or I would write her personal letters. And one day I didn't feel threatened that somebody was going to knock on my door or anything. That is the society that we're supposed to live in. I don't have to agree with everything you say. What is worrying in our society, though, in my experience, the last time I came from Liberia and got wind of the fact that there were certain people who were offended by my truth talking, everybody started to warn me, Miata, don't go back. Oh, wow. Miata, don't go back. Miata, don't go back. Mr. Weah, I'm being warned about returning to my birthplace because you have thugs, you have a private army, you have security that can come and visit me in the night and harm me, and nothing will come out of it. What kind of society is that? Even in the great United Kingdom of Britain, where you cannot insult the Queen of England, but there's a place called Hyde Park. You go there on a Sunday afternoon and you put your butts down and you can stand on it and you can cuss Elizabeth from now the kingdom come. Nobody will touch you. Nobody will touch you. And in my country, My president tells me if anybody insults him, they will have to pay.
So, Elder Miata, hold on right there.
You will not walk freely. Can you imagine?
Elder Miata, hold on right there.
Let Senator play that tape. Let the Senator play that.
States constantly inciting people. I want to be clear. We will not tolerate those kind of citizens. Those that are constantly insulting the president. I want to be clear that after this, there will be no citizen in this country, and I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think he will walk in the street prison. Threatening the states, constantly inciting people. I want to be clear. We will not tolerate those kind of citizens. Those that are constantly insulting the president. I want to be clear that after this, there will be no citizen in this country, and I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think he will walk in the street prison.
Thank you, Senator. Is it possible for us to take calls, because I know you're having issue with your device? Is it possible we can take maybe 10 calls and then we can, because we're
I'm not sure we can take calls tonight.
okay, yeah. I thought so too. I thought so.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Thank
But
God.
you know, Elder Miata was saying something. And you know, I'm home. I'm in Grand Bassa County.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you spoke, it took my mind back to when I was a little boy in Grand Bassa County. I remember the Liberia where the value system, a male or a man will wake up for a woman to sit down. I remember any country where you don't have foreign students coming to study at your university, that country is at the brink of collapse. Any country where your hospitals are not referral hospitals in the region or from one country to another. Nobody can come to Liberia from another country. Like we run to India, we run to Ghana, we run to America for advanced medical treatment. Nobody does it from Sierra Leone to to Liberia. Nobody does it from Ghana to Liberia. Nobody does it from India to Liberia. Any country where your medical facilities are not vibrant enough for referral from outside your country. The Liberia we knew was a Liberia where you have people coming to enroll at your University of Liberia. That was the country then. The Liberia we knew was a Liberia that was not playing the music they call "Go Tell Your Man the Boy That Can Kill Your Daughter." Yeah, that's not the Liberia we knew. But you see, President Weah successfully made a sentimental issue of his story that he was born so poor and he only knew life when he became president. It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. It's not true. President Weah has managed to package his story to make you believe that he was born so poor, he didn't eat, he was eating on the dumper until he became president. It's not true. It's not true. George Weah at the age of 15, 16, 17, thereabout, when he started playing from Bournemouth to IE to Barrow and then to Cameroon. But 1987, 86, George Weah was not suffering in this country.
They were all about it.
From about 84, 85, 86, George Weah. So what are the men were born? How much he suffered so much that people wrap their suffering thing so sentimentally to think he one of them.
I'm telling you.
From the day George Weah crossed the Liberian border to go to
They went to Cameroon.
Cameroon before 18 years old.
He started making money.
George Weah never eaten dry rice by choice. I mean, by force. No. Dry rice, the ingredients can be accurate for space in the pot. And then people make this man, people fall to this thing that this man came off of a very poor background. He suffered, he never knew nothing until somebody picked him up and made him president. It's not true. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The Liberia we're looking for is the Liberia where everybody can have equal opportunity, where justice is for all. It pains me, Ente Miata, when you said that women, mothers of this country, got together to go see the president. And one thing, look, people who don't know President Weah don't know him. Anybody who around President Weah agreed to be sycophantic.
Yeah.
No genuine person who has character, has courage, and boldness to say no, Mr. President. But with respect, though, Mr. President, the other one wrong. If George Weah tells a Weah, including McGinn, to it that a white shirt you have on there is blue, they will say that's true.
But now don't even cut you off, Senator. Senator McGill was sitting. George Weah was sitting there. George Weah is calling McGill McGill. George Weah say, my name is not McGee. My name is McGill. Can you imagine?
McGill say he correct that man. If he correct that man to his real name, he would never be minister.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
If you don't have the courage, if you don't have the courage to correct
your correct name, your name.
Yeah, then what courage do you have to advance the president on other issues that he's doing? So watch in the next few days. Watch in the next few days. I know George Weah. He lost crowd and a crowd that can cheer him. Right now, they're looking for one project that he can go inspect soon to a cheering squad. Then they say, Mr. President, you see all that in the port dog in the post state lady, then they carry him home to Jamaica resort to go ball. Right now, George Weah is not happy. He's not comfortable. So again, they're looking for somewhere that can carry him to go inspect some of that project. And you get a chance, they will go inspect the community road that they already dedicated 3 years ago.
A Clarendon Road is longer than Doe Community Road.
Yeah, but Zizu, let me just add on to the senator's thought. You know, the senator laid a very good foundation for us to build upon. You know, look at this footballer from Senegal, for example.
Mane.
I'm just forgetting his name.
Mane.
He's the current
Sadio
African
Mane?
best.
Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane, right? Let's just do a quick comparison between the both of them. They two came from the slum.
Yeah.
Sadio Mane is from the slum. But go and see what he did in the slum. He built a hospital. He built a school. President Weah came from this very same slum called Gibraltar as well. What did he do? Nothing.
Open nightclub.
When he played football, when he was the world best, when he was the European best, when he was the African best, he did not even build an elementary school in Clarendon. I challenge anybody to show us an elementary school or a health center or a clinic that President Weah built in his particular
You're going too far.
community.
Just say one hand pump. You're going too far. Say a hand pump.
Okay, hand pump. But every day you talk, Zizu, they will say he shared food on the refugee camp in Ghana. Where are the records to prove that he even shared food on the refugee camp in Ghana? All these lies. The man could not even manage his own wealth. He mismanaged his income. Today, he's leeching on the country's resources, building massive properties around the country, while our people are suffering, while our people are dying poor. He and his wife, they are building mansions and estates at the expense of our ordinary people in West Point, in Clarendon, in Soniwe, Doe Community, Nukutan, Douala, and other places. Is this fair? Group of very poor people, for example, McGill, you just talk about McGill, right? President Weah can call him Maggie. McGill does not have the balls to tell President Weah, my name is not Maggie, my name is McGill. This is the extent of the tragedy in Liberia.
Yes.
This is the extent of the tragedy in Liberia.
President
McGill
Weah,
was renting.
your presidential minister is called Nathaniel McGill. G-I-L-L.
Thank you,
Stop calling him McGee. He doesn't have the balls to tell you himself. He doesn't want to offend you. What his name?
Now your name, the never get any name McGee.
That's what they said. Someone asked him, said, "But my man, you name McGill. Why you can't tell the president your name not McGee?" He said, "If the president won't call me McGee, what's wrong with that?"
I'm telling you.
Let him continue.
So generally, Zizu, we are in a mess. And we have had messes before, right? But this is the messiest mess since 1847.
Yes.
This is the messiest mess.
Yeah.
Disaster.
Because
Disaster.
yeah,
The
exactly.
country has
Exactly.
no sense of direction. We don't know where we're going. The entire structure of the country, in terms of what are the social economic structure of the country, they all collapse. You don't see no leadership direction. You don't know who's leading the country. You wake up in the morning, nobody looks up to the president, because first thing, the president is only making speeches, what we call voicemail, leaving us voicemail. We wake up in the morning, we hear, leaving us voice messages on our phone.
But seriously speaking,
What?
after 5 years,
But
the leader
president in the
cannot
first place-
do a recording. I mean, how does he get away with it?
No,
Exactly,
and
you're
then
leaving
the
people voice messages.
No, but
The president-
you guys didn't get it. The man never wanted to be president. George Weah never wanted to be president. From 2005, you asked George Weah, why you want to be president? He said, the people say I'm going to be president. The man himself never ever wanted to be president. The people who packaged this man, who shielded him from questions, from the hard issues, so that we can bring him to the fore and to expose whether he's prepared or not. The people did well, and they're still doing the same thing. And the thing is okay that in 5 years, the president cannot hold a press conference to speak to the country. And the thing is okay. And the thing is okay to retain this gentleman in power. But look, John Weah has been fair to us. And I don't want to repeat this thing because it's going to be my anthem. Let's be fair to John Weah himself in a sarcastic way for people to understand. George Weah is being fair to us in a sarcastic way by saying, my people, hey, y'all see me, my friend, and get your time. Hey, you see what I'm doing to you? When you put me by at your business. So for me, I've been done with George Weah. I want us to focus on the opposition. I mean, not necessarily the opposition going forward, the messaging, the kind of ticket we bring to the people, how we can fight to reunite opposition as much as we can. I don't care what happens. Even God in heaven, those are all who believe in God. God own creation, when Satan 10, when Lucifer 10, God being God threw Satan down. So opposition may not unite entirely, but opposition can make sense.
Yes.
Opposition can make sense of the story of the country, the direction of the country. Let me repeat this thing. In 2016, I was part of the Ganta Declaration. I was a delegate for Liberty Party. All the opposition parties of consequence went to Ganta. We said we're doing Ganta Declaration. We had decided we found one ticket for opposition, so to ensure that no third term for UP. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was August 2016. And the opposition community and those who did not want a UP third term, the country was excited. We're coming from Ganta. On the road, we even read Banga, we start making flour. People start calling one another regime collaborator, killer, whatever. Opposition discouraged the country. But you know who are part of the declaration? Ernest Cummings, Charles Boskin, Bernard Ure, George Weah, Prince Johnson, Milk Jones. You can go on naming the parties in opposition of consequence and other parties. We were all under one umbrella under Ganta Declaration.
Senator, let me make a suggestion to you.
No, I wanted to land on the thought. I beg you, Martin. I want Dominic, please. This is important for renewal of hope of our people, that all the hope is not lost. We came from Ganta. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing to continuously do, but I'm just giving a background story to tell you that these things can happen and hope can still. When we came from Ganta, opposition was more attacking opposition under Ganta Declaration than paying attention to UP. What happened? George Weah in election year 2017.
Form a new collaboration.
August, September, October, November, December, January, the country could not hear with confusion among opposition for Uganda declaration. Prince Johnson said, if nobody paying, he will not be. If nobody gaining them, he will not be. Bernard Yue won't be. Everybody won't be. The whole country started getting discouraged. What happened? George Weah left from honor there in February of 2017 election year, and he did his small coalition with MPP and LPDP. They had an understanding. They gave the country hope. They gave the country hope. George Weah is already a likable person, so forming a coalition was not a very big deal for him. And they gave the country hope. And the country believed them when, what they call it, change for hope or hope for change?
Change for hope.
Fine. But they gave the country something to hope in. And the country voted for them. What I'm saying, what is happening to the opposition community is not a strange thing. It's not a good thing. All of us have a responsibility to see how we can work on opposition unity as much as we can work. If we can mend all the broken pieces, let's find as much of the pieces
that we can put together
to give the country hope. It's not late. Peace and thought can fall apart.
Yes.
But for the sake of the country, some of us have to reduce the chips on our shoulder and our ego and say, in the best interest of the country,
yes,
I will let this go and I will do it this way. It's not late.
It's not late.
I know.
Martin.
But let me add to what the senator said, and I agree with the senator on this note, because even Karl Marx, he was very clear when it comes to intra-party affairs. He said there will always be internal contradictions in as much there are competing interests.
Yes.
So anywhere there is competing interests, of course there will be contradictions. But our ability to resolve those contradictions is what matters. I would like to suggest to the senator, because I am not into mainstream politics, I'm an activist. But if you ask me, Stevie, who do you prefer? Opposition ruling party? I would prefer the opposition any day. Any day. I am an activist. I have a stake in the interest of that country, because tomorrow, all of us will be held liable by posterity. What did you do to fix this problem when we were not around? That would be a question to answer, and all of us will have to answer that question. When we had this disaster of the president, what did you do to correct this political accident? What did you do? All of us will be in a position to answer that question. So I would like for the opposition, where we have reached, there should be no time for harboring hatred, inflated ego, and so forth. A grand coalition of opposition political parties. A grand coalition of opposition political parties is required at this time. We have 14 more months to election.
Yeah.
The people are still hopeful. The people are still resilient.
Yeah.
But they too can get disappointed. We have to be cautious of this fact. The people can get disappointed too. So we have to manage the situation wisely and smartly, because the intent of the ruling class is to either rig the election or use violence
to intimidate people.
To intimidate people as much as possible. Before we reach the time of the election, everybody is afraid to go to the ballot boxes because they could be killed, they could be injured, they could be harmed. I have no problem with the opposition forming a defensive, protective mechanism. Self-defense is permissible under our law. When people go to protest and a group of belligerent thugs decide to launch an aggressive attack on them, they have got every right to defend themselves on our law. So let's be clear about that. I have listened to a lot of people criticizing the statement of Yeke Koluba. He said, we are forming a team to defend ourselves. There is nothing wrong with defending ourselves, especially when we have been consistently attacked. Let's be clear about that. The next thing I want to say, Stephen, is that where we are as a country right now, it is clear that George Weah is out of touch. He's out of touch with the people.
Was he ever in touch?
Presumably because he came on populist rhetoric. He came on the back of populist rhetoric. So somehow he was in touch.
Okay, it told Samuel those 6 months to know he was president.
Yeah.
Look,
So
say anything about the regime, repressive, we all agree. But it took him 6 months to know that he was president, and he became presidential. George Weah is only fencing himself with the title President Weah. The function of that office, he also said to Maggie and Toy. Anything he go for presidentially to President Weah, he said go to Maggie and Toy. He also
and I wish his cheerleaders would stop embarrassing us in the world by putting this doctor to his name.
Exactly.
Even people
I'm
who
telling
know,
you.
even intelligent people in the country who know when they are in the position, they are standing up there to say, doctor. Hey, man. They shame. I tell you, you're making me
that's bootlicking,
shame.
Ente Miata. That's bootlicking. They are bootlicking.
So 2 months calls from the public, so we'll take 5 calls. 5.
Yeah,
Five
let's
calls.
take a few calls.
5 at most. We'll take 5
Yeah,
calls,
we'll
and
take 5
we're
calls,
here
then we
next
go
week.
around the room, everybody wrap up.
You
And
have a
we're
speaker
here
with fake
10:30,
degrees.
and we'll save the other topics for
You have
Friday.
Senate
and we'll
Project
get back to
Live or
Friday.
a
Yeah, after
degree.
the calls, we'll close up and then we'll come back on Friday.
Yeah. So the number to call is 0-777-510-588. 0-777-510-588. There's a caller on the line already. Hello. You gotta lower the volume of the device you're listening through.
Okay.
Your name and where you calling from?
Greetings. My name is Tension Mark Anthony Shimon Jr.
You call from where?
I call from Capital Park, Mozambique County.
You got 1 minute to the line.
Okay, so let me say thank you very much to the panelists and especially Martin Colley for his brilliant deliberation. And one key thing that I honestly from Martin is that in as much as the opposition need to get back together, we need to put our broken pieces together, because what had happened or what is happening in the opposition had happened before, and things became perfect for the opposition party. So it is incumbent upon us, the opposition, to come together. Why it is that we cannot get all the broken pieces, but we can get some pieces together and make the opposition better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But Morgan Zawe from the United States, you are arriving on your private jet?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good evening to every one of you.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, it's a wonderful show. Mira, how are you, my girl?
I hear, hanging in.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to everyone. This is a good platform, and I want to say a little thing what Miata was talking about. She forgets something that she didn't add. We have also street phone. We used to dial phone on the street. They had street phone those days.
Yes.
And when we talk, the people say we are 1847 people, we ain't had nothing. We have street phone, we have a public bathroom where people take shower and go
Yes.
to the train.
Yeah.
We had those days.
Yeah.
People, the children then when you do good work for the week, on Sunday, your mom will send you to children's show. There's no theater, no more in
Or to go buy ice cream.
On Sunday,
You used to go to Rivoli?
looking up to that after church, they dress fine. They go to church after church. They put their,
Pamoga,
their clothes on.
Pamoga.
Go to the movie.
You used to go to Rivoli?
Yeah.
No,
You
not
don't go to
River Deep. Relda. What about Relda?
How about Roxas Cinema?
Relda.
Who used to carry that? No, you couldn't go there.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Pamonga. Okay, Pamonga, thank you. We got to take other callers so we can go.
I've been saying it, they didn't believe it. So I want to tell you, thank you that you spoke on that.
Yeah.
When Mieta was in your Mieta days, we supposed to how they call it, Bellingham or the three part EJ Roy.
EJ Roy, baby.
Yeah.
So
You went for talent show there too?
1847, with the 1847 people, we have
Yeah.
that country.
You went for talent show there too?
Come back for you.
Pamonga, you went for talent show to EJ Roy, baby?
Yeah.
You used to wear wet shoes.
Yes. Lead it, Papi, man.
Okay, Pamonga, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, we get it. Other caller here. Margaret Tebese, welcome. Hello, Margaret Tebese, you here?
Hi, Senator DeLong, and to the rest of the people on the show today. I'm pleased to join you guys from the USA. There is something that is concerning, and I thought to raise it so that we have answers. The last time I was checking on the Elections Commission website, they submitted a budget of $9,900,000 plus for the conduct of the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. We are 14 months away to the October 10 elections, and yet we haven't seen any plan about when the National Elections Commission intends to do voter registration and all of that. I know that there are authorities that may be listening. Liberians across the world, some of us in the diaspora, we want to come home and register and partake.
All right.
We just hope that the Elections Commission can be time conscious enough to notice that people need to plan their different and respective schedules in their time. And even opposition party and the ruling party should be concerned.
Correct.
You don't have 14 months to election, to a whole country election, and there is no plan about how the election is going to be held in different timetables. So I was just concerned, I thought to raise that. But thank you guys for the show, and thank you for everything you do for Liberia, Senator DeLong.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you so kindly.
Okay.
So we'll take this one from Liberia. Hello, caller, your name and where you calling from? After you got two more callers to go. Okay, we lost you there, so let the other person take the lock. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Abu Kere, and I'm calling from Basel.
Abu, go ahead. You got a minute to the line.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to use this time to appreciate that the more, especially the most talked about Senator and President Dawes Dillon and our advocate and leader of the Bangladesh Education Party, in President of Madam 40. Let me appreciate you.
Stephen Johnson, you say sound?
Sound. You said it already.
They say they talk about soup. You say sound?
Sound.
This is what we've been yearning for what the past year of time, or to have a platform to be able to be getting our voice, to be able to start to provide information to the country. So thank you ever so much for doing the work. I will start to follow this technical platform so I'll be able to provide my information. Whatever information I'll be providing. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take the second to the last. We'll stick to the number of callers tonight. Hello, your name and where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Yes, I just like to thank people for the show, for what all you are saying is very good. And I'm not so proud of this government. The first video of this country said it in Washington DC when they interview her. He said government, CDC, honestly, this government will be both now. So we are not so proud of that.
You voted?
So I voted. I didn't vote for the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So we'll take the last call. Steven?
Yeah, they're not easy.
My phone freezing.
The line is busy. The line seems busy.
I mean, this show gives hope to the country.
But Senator Dillon, you were not on from the beginning. I said that this show is a town square of intelligentsia. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a whole town square.
Mm-hmm.
And I really admire the innovation from you and Stephen Johnson, you know. Yeah. This is a big town square.
We put a lot of thought in it.
There's an information tank.
Yeah,
you have an information tank.
Patrick Horner,
you guys, Patrick Horner, especially from behind the scenes.
Klatume, Daniel Sano, we put a lot of thought in this because we thought
democracy espouses competition of ideas.
Yeah,
there should always be competition of ideas.
Yeah. I want to take the last call for Grandmaster Kande.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, the person for Grandmaster was calling me to get on the line. Not easy. So I think we leave it.
Let get Domo there. Long time you Domo get Domo there.
There's a Grandmaster in our Domo. Yeah.
It's the Domo capital of Nigeria.
No negative.
Yeah, no. I was trying to take the last caller from Grandmaster, but the line is jammed, so I don't want to give special preference any longer. Let me just take the last call random.
Yeah.
Caller, good evening. Your name and what you calling for you, the last caller. Lucky last caller.
I'm calling you from Pinsville.
From Pinsville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Senator.
Oh, we lost him there. Hello?
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 Hello, Senator Dillon?
Yes, sir?
Yeah, I'm on the line. This is something matter.
Yes.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Grandmaster Kande, the Piano City.
Good.
Okay, you follow with the show on social media or on the radio?
I'm on the radio Tuba. I'm on.
Okay, good. You got 1 minute, even though you're from Grandmaster.
I am not surprised. I didn't have any from day one, from 2005 when I heard the name George Weah, when Taylor said it. 1991, he said the ball won't be president. After we lose the World Cup because he wanted to be president on a man to the government until he won't be president because Taylor wanted to kill him. Then I didn't have no expectation. Expectation in President Weah. Because why? World best, European best, world best, European best, African best, nothing. So Baffa got a party with it, so that we win back.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, so that we win back. So if the child in a single one, if the child will want to, you will see on the recording.
And yeah, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. So
I'm ready to let that parole.
Yeah. So he didn't have anything to show in the country. Today, he became senator 3 years, nothing. UNICEF Peace Ambassador, $5 million program annually, nothing. No Palabra meeting call in his place. Then people taking a main president, then what expectation we have?
Okay, something, so we're gonna go. Something, thank you, gotta go. But let me ask you that teaser question. Maybe behind the scene we'll discuss it and see whether we can make a discussion next weekend. If you were supposed to choose a ticket today for the country, why a ticket?
Well, for me, my ticket is wisdom. And the wisdom is our older people.
Now, how y'all can vote invalid photo? No wisdom me on our ballot.
That's all right. The man trying to tell you the criteria he looking for. Talk, oh man.
Yeah, because why? The Bible says the young will drink, and the old will interpret.
But why got alone on that ticket? We said ticket.
Our ticket is who can deliver this country, and I believe that is Joseph Brother.
And who?
Who should be a running mate?
And the running mate will be Senator Nyobikan Lawrence.
Okay, you're the basketball. I know why I was.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Ambassador solidarity.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Okay, Sammy, I'm with you.
Okay, man.
So I mean, it was
Senator Dillon, how do you say ambassador? This other president is Fisio.
Okay, more.
Or Senator Jumo.
But Senator, when you close it, you should please speak small Bassa to the people. Say you already in the county. When you close it, I want you to just speak small Bassa, speak to the hearts in Bassa. Oh, but I mean, it was a good show.
Don't get to me like Bello got feeling yo.
No, my member, we know that our country there. You home. So you know, it was a good show.
Steven, you from Bassa as well?
Yes, I am from Bassa.
Oh, okay.
Also. Yeah.
Okay.
From Bassa.
You see, that's the level. That's the level I want Liberia to get. Stephen Johnson is just a Liberian to me. Dara Stillin is just a Liberian.
Exactly.
I am not about Bassa and big. No.
Yeah, that's how we should be. We should be Liberians first.
Yeah,
and Liberian last. I mean, it was a good show. Unfortunately, we can't, pick up all the calls. I know we started late because of technical difficulties. So we're wrapping up now, and let me begin with you.
I got 400 missed calls.
Wow,
that's
good.
That's
how
good.
the people.
So, Senator, before we close, let me make a suggestion here. I think we should find a day where it just be about the callers. If we have 400 callers,
we said that the last time.
Yeah,
maybe on Fridays.
If we're having 400 people calling, we should find a day, the 2 hours the people
a lot of these people want to express themselves. They want to express their grief, their anger.
We want to commit to our people that, in fact, on Friday, we have 2 stable numbers for the show.
For the 2 hours, it will be all calls.
Yeah. Not necessarily that we'll open the lines on Friday. I'm saying beginning Friday, this show will have 2 dedicated numbers only for the show. Anytime it rings, it means the show on.
Yeah, and we need to find it because there's 400 people calling you, giving you missed call. It tells you how many person want to participate on the show. Exactly. So there has to be some way.
And they're still calling, even though they're hearing that we're not taking calls.
Yeah, so we got to find a day.
Azizu, this is a clear demonstration that our people are anxious for change.
Yeah.
They want a new system. They need somebody to reset the button on governance. They need somebody to reset that button on governance.
5 minutes after 8 this evening, my phone was almost cracking. What happened to the show now?
Yeah, when the senator couldn't
our people need a relief.
Martin.
Yeah.
I agree with you when you say our people need relief. And one of the reasons why I think people have been flocking to the class is because our entire media structure in the Republic of Liberia has been compromised.
Yes.
And also the outside media, the likes of the Spoon TV, etc., our people are aware that they are just propagandists for the government. So apart from the entertainment shows that are on podcast, there was not a platform where people were coming to talk the truth. Okay? Yeah. You can say I'm supporting Joseph Boyka, but I'm very proud to say I'm not a sycophant. Joseph Boyka knows that Miata Fambule will always tell him the truth.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, he will know I will tell him the truth. I'm not a sycophant. I don't want a job. I'm not looking for any position. I just want to see my country where it's supposed to be. So calling us opposition, you call me an opposition? Yes, I'm opposition to the CDC, but I'm not a sycophant and I'm not being paid to advocate. I'm not being paid. I would never do that. If I don't believe in you, trust me, I will not go behind you. So,
Zizu, quickly, we should not ignore the concern of Comrade Marco Tepesin.
Yes, it's something Senator, we got to take note of that.
He raised an important concern.
On Friday.
He raised an important concern.
We can't be having a situation where we don't know the timetable for elections.
Yeah. And also,
the schedule on Friday, let him can expand on it.
Yeah, you should talk to him and see what
hey, Senator. Okay, I will try. But Senator, here's the point, right? I think the opposition also needs to put more pressure on Legis. The census is very important ahead of
2023. Let's keep it for Friday.
Martin will unpack all of these things Friday. There are a lot of things for us to talk. So
we really didn't have time to talk much today, but
in closing, Enter Miata, in a minute. Can you, your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is that my country is degenerating. I'm concerned. I'm 74 years old. If I got 5 more years left, I'm lucky. And I had a wonderful adult life. We had the best things in my country when I was growing up. And to see it reach this stage where people like Stephen, Martin, Moses, Alfred, all of you will never get the experience that my generation had, is very, very sad. And I'm asking Liberians out there, within your heart, you know that we have a useless leadership. We don't need the Americans to tell us. We don't need the EU to come and tell us. We don't need outsiders to tell us. That is our country. We knew how it was and where it is today. So let us focus on changing the dynamics of this country, or else by 2030, if we don't do anything, then Liberia is really finished. I don't know who will be able to come and repair it. The damage would have been done. The damage is already done. Like I said earlier, infrastructure gone out of the window, institutions have been broken down, family values are no longer in existence. Everything kaput.
Chakra.
Everything is chakra. It don't finish. It don't finish. Okay. So this is no joke. We're not here to just be doing propaganda. I am here to tell you, our country is degenerating into nothing.
Thank you, Ntimiata. The voice of Ntimiata, the closing up. Martin, your final thoughts.
The old lady.
Yeah, I would like to.
Olele young girl.
And she's always firing, very smart woman. Yeah. So I would like to say to you, Veteran Johnson and Senator Dillon, you and your team are doing exceptionally well. I appreciate the work that the class Reloaded is doing. Information dissemination is very critical to national development. We just need one thing in our country. Only one thing. We need an enlightened population.
Yes.
Even if our people are poor but enlightened,
Yes.
they can become self-sufficient and create jobs for themselves, because enlightenment leads to innovation. Innovation leads to job creation. So even if they are poor, they need to be enlightened. So what you've done here, right? Senator Dillon, Stephen Johnson, Mo Ali, Patrick Horner, Tilia Ure, and others, what you've done here, Jeremy Pierre, the entire team. Yeah. What you've done here, like I said, this is a meeting point, right? Where Liberians come to share ideas, educate. Our country needs mass education, political consciousness. Political consciousness is what we need right now. So I would like to say, in closing, the We Are led government has failed totally. If you want to know that they have failed, I encourage you to go and read the latest report of NEMOT in partnership with OSIWA and the United Nations. 109 promises these people made. They have only completed 8. 109. You made 109 promises. You've only completed 8 after 5 years. That's massive.
1 million jobs. 1 million jobs by 2023.
They talk about 1 million jobs, right?
Yeah.
They said they were going to build an agriculture bank. 6,000 Nigerian teachers. They said they were going to build 2,000 housing units in West Point. 400 light posts on the RIA highway. 0. They also told us that they were going to provide allowances.
They talk about they facing the hair factory. 0.
Yeah, hair factory. All those are failures. And this is the point I want to make, Stephen, before I close. Their quote-unquote PAPD, right? That quote-unquote agenda does not, reflect the actuality in Liberia. It is a photocopy of 2 different documents. Number one, the poverty reduction strategy. Number two, the sustainable development goals. They photocopy a lot of provisions. I've read the agenda, the quote unquote proper agenda. I've read through that agenda paper by paper. There's a photocopy. And you know, in project cycle management, there's something called need assessment. Before you even implement a project for the people, you must go to them and ask them what they need. You didn't ask the people, you just went and photocopied 2 different development documents. Say, here is our agenda. Is that an agenda? It's
You
not
don't
an
even
agenda.
have
That's
any
what they're feeling,
mechanism
because
in
they
place
don't
to
even
even assess progress. No framework.
Exactly. It's a whole
Jackson
photocopy
Dole
work.
Hospital.
WIA does not have
Jackson
vision.
Dole Hospital is in disrepair, Senator.
Yeah, I was reading
Jackson Dole
editorial
Hospital
on it. The hospital is in ruin.
But look at the
is
other person
in
who
ruin.
fell from the balcony
From the
at
third
JFK.
floor of JFK.
From
Come
the third floor
on.
at
Times for
JFK.
Liberia. Yeah, you know, but Martin, we need to
How
bring
can
you
you-
back here. We
How
need to
can you
find
give a
time to
public
bring you
hospital,
back.
for example, the public hospital in Grand Creek County, where President WIA comes from? That public hospital has less than 200,000, but he's giving his wife, Claire WIA, 700,000 of our taxes. Is that really fair? Is that really fair? He has a budget. He has a budget of Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs has a budget of almost 20 million.
Yeah.
Is that really fair to the people you are serving, Mr. WIA?
And the
Mr.
risky
WIA
thing
came
for
to
Clark,
power.
Martin, the risky thing for Clark is once you collecting public money, you are prone to audits. So
Exactly.
I see the next government after WIA will definitely
She will be
want to
prosecuted.
audit. Yes,
She will be prosecuted.
She will be
The
audited.
Clark-
She will be
the-
audited,
hello,
she will be
Martin.
prosecuted. She has
Hello.
not provided a single financial report since 2008, as per
Yes.
the PFM law. It is required
Exactly.
by the PFM law. When you take our taxes, you account for our taxes. She hasn't
Yeah.
provided
And you're
a single
subject to
financial
audits.
report. Yeah. So I
Thank
would
you,
like to say
Martin.
thank you, Veteran Stevens and Senator Dillon, for the opportunity. I will see whether I can come back Friday. Let's end
No,
the matter.
no,
End the matter is in
that
your
one we're
70s.
gonna-
Don't
no,
say you
that
will
one
see.
we're gonna hold you. In fact, and you gave me
You know,
instruction to be
Joe WIA is
and you
wasting
gave
our
me-
time.
And you employ me to be a senator.
Yeah.
The people have vested the authority in me to instruct you to be here on Friday.
Thank you.
Senator, you know I gotta go hustle.
Okay, we thought I hold up in the back. You know, I get for the 30K, but we'll do something in the
Oh,
back.
okay,
You gotta
okay.
be here. The people 1 year on Friday.
Okay, Senator.
But Martin,
Thank you,
thank you so
Martin.
kindly. And then Beata, thank you. We cannot thank you much. I mean, you're
I enjoy this. You
Yeah,
can tell
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
enjoying this. You know, if I can't be in my country to express it, thank God for technology. I'm sitting in Ghana and I can
Yeah.
express it, and that is what is the most
And then
important.
the other, we got one assignment for you.
What is that?
So we have to bring that on.
That
Dr. Famula.
I told you the last time.
No.
That said the whole thing fisi. That said the whole thing fisi.
Yeah.
That said he told us before it was going to be fisi.
Yeah.
Nobody listened to him. In fact, he's one of the reasons why Minister George Warner came out to say that education
That
will
book will
eat.
eat.
That book will eat. That dog. I hope he walk in the streets of Monrovia and what you want to call. These are some of the people who
So yeah, and then the other only
Related.
assignment you taking home today to bring that
to
here
bring
on the
Dr.
show.
Famula on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Like,
assignment, I want no argument. I only assignment.
like,
you taking
like
home.
Grady,
That has to
like
come
Grady, like Grady Allison said, my wife too good for that. My brother too good for that. He's giving 40-something years of his life to Liberia. He never stole. Didn't take anybody's money. Tried to live within his means. He didn't get any credit for it.
But bring him now.
This is you.
The
The
thing
same-
where
The
you
dark
bring
coming on,
him
maybe
is
one of
The
the
same
finalists.
one.
I beg you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Martin will bring you on once he's coming.
Yeah.
You want to
Oh, yeah.
hear Doc, Senator, you want to hear Doc's views and the things he said. You have Martin representing. You can invite Moses Yamia. You can invite Darlington Collins.
Collins.
You
Yeah,
can invite
exactly.
Alfred
Alfred
Caddy.
Caddy.
Yeah. Those are the people who will give you that.
I know,
Previous
right?
No, we gotta get it down on. Antimatter, we gotta get it down.
Yeah, so
I
Senator,
said the
almost
man-
7 o'clock. Let
The
wrap
man
up.
said
I
we
will try to
see.
call it that, to see whether we can talk
Yeah,
to him
you
to get it on.
you call
Okay,
him.
so We've
It's almost 11, Senator.
We've gone about an hour above our time. I know we started a little late, and our people don't have an issue with that. We want to say thank you for following. Anthony Miata. Martin, we look forward to seeing you on Friday. There is no excuse. Yeah, you can give me instruction to go to session, Martin. I'm instructing you to come to class.
Yes, Senator.
Senator, we are watching you guys. The confirmation for the tow driver who you all want to put at the airport. We watching
at the airport. No, just leave that over Friday.
They say he was a specialist. He was a tow truck driver.
Friday. I'm the co-chair. I'm the co-chairman on the Senate Committee on Transport. Senator Nathan, the chairman of ANC, is the chair of that committee. The rule or the tradition in the legislature, especially at the Senate, is when a committee does not report, only plenary can constitute itself into a committee of the whole to take that report from that committee. Most time when a committee reports and does recommendation, plenary normally goes with the recommendation. And we will go to that confirmation hearing with open minds. Maybe what we're hearing about him is different from what he will present to us. But from what I'm seeing, I'm already finished voting no. Already.
Will it be public?
I called chairman Sonny, he said whether it will be public.
So the drive can, the class can.
It will be live. In fact, if there's anything we're hiding in the country, the confirmation of the nominee for the RRA, the way the whole world is looking at the RRA, anybody who holds such confirmation hearing behind the scene doesn't like the country. And as co-chair on that committee, and I believe Chairman Daniel Nathan, all of us in the committee, will make that public hearing very public.
Thank you, Senator.
We'll make it very public, and we'll make the appropriate recommendation before the plenary. And let me state on the record, it is very democratic. It is very democratic if you are already informed or something to even state how you will vote in advance. It's not prejudice. Sometimes the president of a democratic country can say, that bill, that plenary, that the legislature want to bring to me, I will veto it because of advance. I am saying from what I have seen, from what I know, if it is what it is, I'm already deciding to vote no to reject that nominee on the record already, and then I co-chair. Then one is not prejudice, it's not bias.
The nominee is incompetent. The facts are clear.
Thank you.
Simple.
So we got the nominee a few months ago.
Thank you. We'll be here on Friday. Stephen Johnson is over you to close.
Yeah, so let me say a big thank you to everybody who called, all of our listeners via Radio Bushra 98.1 in Monserrado, Shatta FM 102.5, Radio Dupa there in Grand Bassa County 89.1, Voice of Lofa FM 99.3 there in Vonjaman, Radio Joy Africa 97.5 in Magibi County, Voice of Gompa all the way there in Ganta City, Nima County, and Buto Radio 102.3 all the way there in Sino County. We'd like to say thank you to all those in the comment section for your comments, your feedback, and all of the recommendations you make for the show. And as we always do, let us leave you with this quotation by Thomas Paine. He said, "He who dares not offend cannot be honest." And let me say again, he who dares not offend cannot be honest. On that note, we come to end of another fascinating edition.
Before we end, let me break this. We're doing everything behind the scene to get Joseph Nyima Boaka in class.
Yes.
We are almost concluding the arrangement to get Nyambli Kanga Lawrence
in class.
While Yata is doing everything to get that the formula in class.
The class will be too heavy.
And Martin Colley will be here to be critiquing the credentials.
Thank you. Yeah, the CSCC got to be regular here. And maybe
I like that, Senator.
As we go along the way, maybe we can find a Tuesday and Thursday and fit Martin in the schedule where he can be doing his own presentation in Tuesday and Thursday when we're not doing,
and we can pop in
exactly.
Yeah, because I know if Tuesday
and also Senator,
sure, I'm free on those days.
While we're thinking about this, if we can also bring our Metsiga back on the program. The rapes have not stopped, the murders have not stopped. Women in Maryland are marching, etc. So it's always, for us to keep on top of that.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So
Stevie, I know you want to go. I got one question for Ende Miata.
What?
Wait now, you can't wait more. Yeah. Where did you make it? Where did you make it?
You could down. London, England, 1977, December.
Hold it already.
Oh,
Hold it
wow.
right there. The other way. Madi call you up anyway.
Actually, I didn't fall that.
I just left the Kalano, Senator. I just left the Kalano just 1 year ago.
1977, I'm in London, December. No money, broke, but we're trying to make a headway. And the Sierra Leonean brother by the name of Aki Dean comes up to me and meets me in some club or something. He said, "Oh, Miata," he had heard about me as a Liberian singer. He said, "Are you recording?" I said, "How we record? I got no money." He said, "You know what? I have a friend who works in the studio. He just work in the studio now for him, an engineer. He works in the studio. So I will talk to him. Maybe he can find some hours to squeeze us in." So Senator, Christmas Eve, which was technically holiday, Dennis Bovey squeezed us in that we went there 12 o'clock. We finished the Amo Sakisa Kukulioko by 4 a.m. Got out of the people's studio before the main people come. Then the next night, we went back in there and did the Kukulioko.
Wow.
And I was not even born at that time, Senator.
Wow.
Yes, 1977 December, and then it came out, it hit the market that February of 1978.
So let's take a few bars of it. You don't know how much I love it.
Yeah.
No, you're not going.
We don't go enter Miata Ubeki. We gotta listen to the song.
Yeah, man.
All right. Those good days.
Happy music, yo.
I live in radio. There's a move, boy.
And the reason for, oh Lord, my phone is back on. I thought we were going. The reason for calling all of those places is because, from Monrovia to Accra, etc., was because that was my journey along with the musicians in the studio. I had somebody from Ghana, I had somebody from Sierra Leone. So I had to include them in that introduction. And the fact that I was married to a Guyanese.
So Friday, you would tell why you may going to catch crab for your lover to eat.
That is not an original.
Oh, really?
You see, Dylan, even you young.
Hey, man, don't be mad near me. Don't be mad.
Yeah, that's young. It's a folk song.
Senator, I near you.
It's a folk song
I
from
just
the
left the Kalano
settlement.
1 year ago.
Okay.
It's a folk song from the settlement. Go and catch crab. I mean, where do we catch crab with your crawfish basket? Is from the settlement, and I just embellished it. It is not an original.
So you're going to catch a crab not for yourself to eat, for your lover to eat.
But at the way that people were singing the song, it's yeah. I had the upriver people were singing the song. I go and catch crab.
The legendary Miata family.
I go and catch crab for my lover to eat. Yeah. The other one where I put he don't eat meat, he don't.
Yeah.
That was because the man I was married to at the time was a vegetarian.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you on Friday. Go with
Thanks, thanks everybody for
learning.
Thank you all. God bless.
God bless.
Yeah.
Senator, you
Bye.
can close for our video.
Okay. Okay, guys. I'll see you.
I can't tell the thing awful.
So don't worry, I'll tell it off for you. Yeah. Okay. I finished. You mean the theme song?
Yeah. So you do it. I'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I like this one as a reminder to the people who are always asking and deliberately other people who know but ain't want to tell the story. So every day I will play this video to tell the people what we're doing.
That while the management team is putting into place the plan for maintenance and sustainability, the $3,000 that I take from my salary every month to give to the county council that I set up to do small intervention in the county, that $3,000 will be utilized year from today. That $3,000 I deduct voluntarily from my salary for Monterado will be utilized here. The rehabilitation of one Liberian citizen, in my view, is more important than the building of 10 skyscrapers that if we have more Zogos, they can break them down anytime. I want to thank you and God bless you.
And then God bless you. See you Friday. Bye-bye.